Hello there. It's good to meet with you here once again. This is Diplomatic Affairs. Of course, my name is Harriet Nartey. The show comes off every Saturday on Pan-African television from 4 to 5 o'clock p.m. We are also very active on our social media pages, YouTube and Facebook. You can always catch up with us and get to know what is happening when it comes to diplomacy, of course, global affairs, exchanges between countries at the bilateral and multilateral levels. If you want all the information, this is your go-to place, as I always say. Now, guess what? I'll tell you about the woman who gave us our first professional travel experience to South Africa. Our first professional travel experience to South Africa. And it was a great experience. We had so much fun. We got to know our brothers and sisters better. It was a great environment full of ideas, people working hard to solidify relations between our two countries. And she's a very hardworking woman. I mean, she is known for her non-stop movement. She's always on the move, making things happen. It's interesting how she's done 4 years already, and she's about exiting our beautiful country. So she's been here for 4 solid years, working to enhance relations between South Africa and Ghana. I'm talking about Her Excellency Grace Janet Mason, the South African High Commissioner to our beautiful land. She's joining me now. Excellency, Akwaba.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to see you again. How are you?
Same here. I'm fine, thank you.
Always looking fabulous.
Siabonga.
How do you do it?
Work.
What's the inspiration?
The inspiration is able to serve in Ghana and the people that I work with, the office, the country, the people, my colleagues, fellow diplomats. It makes it so much easier. So, yes.
That's where the inspiration comes from.
Yes.
In my introductory remarks, I mentioned that you gave us our first professional travel experience in Durban, in South Africa.
South Africa,
yes. Yes, it's an experience that is going to live with us for the rest of our lives, myself and the crew. It was amazing. It was just great to see Africa working together for the Africa we want. Let's begin with relations between our two countries. You know, in summary, where are we? Good?
Well, better than good. This year we celebrate 30 years of our democracy in South Africa. And we also celebrate 30 years of diplomatic relations with Ghana. At the advent of our democracy, former President Mandela, the first diplomatic mission that was opened in Pretoria was Ghana. So the relations that exist has been strong, cordial. We now have our relations at a level of a binational commission where our two heads of states meet every 2 years and chair the binational commission. And there's a number of memoranda of understanding that has been signed between our countries. And of course, you can see with the trajectory of trade, investment, it speaks to the relations that we have between Ghana and South Africa. We've got over 200 South African companies doing business in Ghana, a lot of tourism, a lot of trade. We even celebrating, now in September, we celebrated our tourism month, and for South Africa, Ghana is #1 in terms of our tourism from the continent. So that speaks to the good relations that exist between Ghana and South Africa, and of course, because of the visa regime that we have in place, but also it has also boosted more investment. We've got a lot of trade, and we see a lot of South African companies that are still coming into Ghana to come business. We see universities that will be coming next year.
Wow.
There's a lot of collaboration in all these sectors with Ghana and South Africa, and that speaks to the good relations that exist, and of course the friend relations between Ghana and South Africa, and people-to-people relations as well, cultural diplomacy as well.
Indeed, there's so much happening between our two countries. Now, let me take you back 4 years ago.
2020.
2020, COVID era.
Yes.
What was your orientation about Ghana? Did you have any experience with Ghana prior to your appointment in 2020?
No, I haven't traveled to Ghana before. Before I came to Ghana, I was in protocol. So I had traveled the globe, if I should say, all over. And on the continent, I've traveled to many countries on the continent. AU summits, I coordinated most of the travels. I've been to Nigeria, I think about over 10 times. I've been in the region, on summits, Niger, Mauritania, Senegal. I've been all over. But the two countries that I've never visited, and amazingly, is Ghana and Sierra Leone. And these are the countries that I am accredited to Sierra Leone and Ghana. So, yes.
What were your expectations? What kind of thing did you have going on in your head about your appointment to Ghana?
Well, for me, we know the history, and I know the history of Ghana. And Ghana is the first country on the continent that got its independence in 1957. So the rich history, the culture about Ghana, I knew all of that. And during 2010, I did the World Cup. I was a protocol coordinator for the World Cup. And I remember at the FNB Stadium, we received, I think, about 40 or all the heads of state and government that came to watch the football match. And I tell you, all of South Africa, we rooted for Ghana during the World Cup. We all supported Ghana. It was just your black star all over Ghana. So that is the experience, that the relationship and the love for Ghana. So I remember that, and of course the history, the rich culture of Ghana. And coming here, I came during COVID. So yeah. 2020 was a COVID era. It was quite very quiet, but here I am 4 years later.
4 years later, and you never stopped. As soon as you got in, you were just accelerating, speeding on the highway, trying to get things done between our two countries. Would you say you've achieved your goals? If not all of it, would you say you've achieved quite a number of your goals, your assignments?
Yes, I think I've relatively achieved. The relations, strengthening the relations between South Africa and Ghana, of course. And like I mentioned to you, at the apex of what I had decided to do post-COVID, is to put economic diplomacy at the apex of my agenda. So post-COVID, at the apex of what the South African High Commission was doing was economic diplomacy. And then the president of the South Africa-Ghana Chamber, Grant Webber, we had many discussions, meetings. The first meeting I had was right here in the office with Grant, and we spoke about economic diplomacy and how we see South Africa and how we will position South Africa. And of course, this is what the president and what South Africa expects of us to do. And really South Africa's interest in Ghana. So economic diplomacy was at the apex of what I had set out to do. And you do know that the Secretariat of the African Continental Free Trade Area
is based here.
Is hosted here in Ghana. So that was our priorities. And being COVID, we sought out to look for creative, innovative ways of just promoting our South African companies. Of course, it was a very, very difficult period. The companies were very resilient during that period, and that's basically what I would say that I was able to achieve.
What will be that one thing for you among all the things that you've accomplished? What is that one moment that you sat back and you were so, so happy with what you've done? That one thing.
That one thing is the visa.
I knew that would be the visa because it was long time coming.
It was long time coming, and every platform where I spoke, every engagement that I went to, promoting South Africa, all the tourism initiatives, the activation programs, come and explore South Africa as a premium destination, all our 9 beautiful provinces from Cape Town to KZN to right to the Kruger Park. And every time I'd get onto a platform, I would be asked, yes, we want to come and visit South Africa, but can you give us visas to go to South Africa?
So that was a huge obstacle.
And it was also an obstacle for business.
Right.
Because our South African companies in Ghana, our banks, your VW, all the South African banks, all the companies that are here, they are training, they have to go to South Africa
every
for training.
now and then
For training. Frequent travel. So that was also a backlog. A lot of Ghanaians that were studying at universities in South Africa that would be graduating, that would go and do their postgraduates. It was really, 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 for me, that's the one thing that at some point, there was even a YouTube channel, South Africa, can you issue out visas?
You are attacked from left, right, center. That had to be done. That had to be done.
And by God's grace.
Yes, that had to be done.
That's the one moment I can say.
Right.
It's the one thing, and it's something that has been pursued for many years.
Yes, absolutely. So we give credit to all the people who started the conversation,
my
pushing,
predecessors,
all of
those
them
that came before me, that had worked on it.
Partners on both sides and everybody.
And I had also did it with my colleague, Charles Oredu, who was the High Commissioner in Pretoria at the time. So we had so many conversations and trying to get, and because I was also had a Ghanaian company that was promoting, Russell's company that's promoting tourism, but also medical tourism. So you want to get South Africans to, Ghanaians to go and do their medicals in Ghana.
In Ghana and South Africa and all of that.
Our medicals and the infrastructure, of course, but it was always a case of
bravo,
of
good job.
So that is the one thing.
That's a huge milestone, if you ask me.
Between South Africa and Ghana. And was signed, and because between our foreign ministries and our 2 countries, and I worked hard on it, and I worked hard with Charles on it.
Right. Well done to you and all the stakeholders who worked very hard to achieve this milestone for our 2 countries. How would you describe your experience in Ghana for the 4 years that you've been here? I know the Ghanaian public loved you.
The humility of the Ghanaian people, the hospitality. Of course, I love the weather. There's no winter, so it was summer for me 360 yes, the whole year. Of course, yeah. But it's the people. It's the Ubuntu, and I'm African, so
I am because
yes,
we are.
Yes,
that spirit.
Yes. It's that Ubuntu, and for me, that's what we do as Africans.
That's what we do as Africans. I am because we are. It's one of my favorite, lines. But let's also talk about a bit of the challenges. What were some of the challenges? Did you have to navigate any, tidal waves?
Harriet, I see challenges as opportunities. Both in Ghana and both in Sierra Leone. Wherever there's a challenge for me, I see an opportunity. Now hence I'm saying with the visa, when we became so inundated and we were getting complaints every day, I hardly get calls now. My phone doesn't ring off the hook anymore. Challenges, complaints, we are keeping people's passports and visas, and I would say what is there to learn from it? There must be an opportunity, and the opportunity, of course, and when you have over 200 South African corporates here, like Grant has indicated, that we decided to have a tennis tournament. They're doing pedal now.
The Rainbow Nation,
Rainbow Nations, the tennis tournaments, and all of these was yet an opportunity for us to do a SWOT analysis on the road, on the marathon, on the at Legon, where we would monthly have our marathons organized by Chris. On the tennis court, where we would have our tennis tournament, the Grace Mason tennis tournament, or the Rainbow Nations tournament, and now they do paddle as well. It's to do a SWOT analysis. Come together, look at what are the challenges, what are the opportunities, of course, for our businesses, considering the macroeconomic conditions at the time. So those were the opportunities that we were able to do SWOT analysis and interact with our community. And because I had put economic diplomacy as the apex, and of course that's what we had sought to achieve, and other than that we were doing cultural diplomacy, the tourism, the creative industry, and just strengthening our relations between South Africa and Ghana and Sierra Leone.
We will miss you. Let me say congratulations on your graduation as well. Do you ever stop?
No, actually.
On the treadmill, do you ever take a break? Do you?
So many of the sacrifices. I tell you, Harriet, when I came, I knew it was COVID. And I had said it's the perfect opportunity for me to spend time with my daughters. And I would have 4 years, and because I came from protocol, I had traveled and I hardly spent time with my daughters, and I thought this is 4 years of me spending time with my daughters, going with them to Cape Coast Castle, going to do all the cultural weekends, go on the canopy, go to Akosombo Dam. I did find time to do some of them. And this is what I envisioned 4 years, that I would work 9 to 4 and spend time with my daughters.
That never happened.
And then when work started, and I thought that I would also go and register into my master's. I'd have all the time to complete it.
How did you juggle work and school? The Kofi Annan Peace Institute, is that the school, that's where you had your master's?
That's
but how did you juggle work and school? Did you ever have time to study? You passed all your subjects?
Oh, absolutely. I sit for the examinations, yes. And I got distinctions in some of them.
Ooh, congratulations!
Oh no, it was very difficult. Once from January 2020, it was COVID, and I went to go and register towards the end. I wanted to quit so many times. I called my professor so many times. I spoke to the dean, Dr. Dansu, so many times that
Vladimir,
I'm overwhelmed now. But yes. I had the time to sit in the lectures. On Saturdays, I went to lectures when I wasn't at work, of course. I actually did. There's a roll call. I did come to the lectures, and it was difficult. But yeah, at some point
it was nearly impossible.
Yeah, it was nearly impossible. I'm glad I did it, but the sacrifices was a bit too much for me, and I still feel so guilty of not spending enough time with my daughters as well. So that's the guilt.
I'm sure they are proud of mommy. I'm sure they are proud of mommy, and they know that this comes with a lot of sacrifice and work. You know, so congratulations once again. Congratulations. That's a huge feat, not just for you, but for women. You know, some of us who look up to the likes of you in the diplomatic space, or even globally when it comes to women in leadership, it's such an inspiration for us not to stop, not to give up on ourselves, but to continue pushing and keep, you know, the drive alive. So congratulations. We are very proud of you. Very, very proud of you. Now, you were also honored at the Maiden Diplomatic Honors. It's the first of its kind in, you know, since the inception of diplomacy. I can authoritatively say so because we've done our research, and it's something that is going to be happening every year at the global level. It's not just a platform for Ghanaian diplomats, but we want to honor global leaders, you know, talking about international relations. We need leaders, responsible leaders in international relations to be able to manage the affairs of our globe. So we need to initiate, you know, platforms like this so that we can push for them to be more motivated and inspired to do more, go out and make the right decisions on our behalf. How was that for you on that night when you stood on the stage and you received your award?
It humbled me. You know, when you work hard, especially when you serve, I always say that, Harriet, you do your work in your corner, and you think nobody sees what you are doing, but you keep pushing. You get motivated to keep pushing. And what motivated me was the South African community, the business community, that motivated me to keep on pushing. And it was a great initiative. When we started, we didn't even think, for us was connecting. But when we realized what the impact that it had, we then decided to be inclusive, include the whole Ghanaian communities, business community, other nationalities. And when we got the first year, when we had 21 nations, 11 nations, 56 players, and then 22 nationalities as it grew, and it's growing every year. And it will continue.
They were there cheering for you.
And they were there cheering for me. And this was just a conversation that I had with Grant one Sunday afternoon. And I said, but there's a tennis court, let's be creative. How are we going to, when we were strategizing of how to engage our corporates in Ghana and do business unusual. That's, for me, a recognition that I appreciate. I'm very humbled by it. And thank you for the recognition.
Thank you for doing what you do best. Thank you for serving. And I tell you the beautiful thing about your leadership. I don't know how you do it, but you make it look very effortlessly done. Every day, I don't know. Again, I am just curious about where the drive comes from, how you get your motivation. Are there days that you kind of like break down and you're like, you know what, today I'm not going to be on the road. I just want to stay in my corner and just, watch how the world is just spinning. Have you ever found yourself in that?
Every woman has those days.
Before you have. Yes, today I just want to take a seat and watch the world spin,
Yes, my background, but also the energy, the people that make it easy, and of course God's grace for me first and foremost. That's how I start my day off. Number one is for me it's providence, then family, and then work. So that's what inspires me. But yes, there are those days
that you just take it easy on yourself.
Yeah, that I take it easy on myself. And there's days that I run out of a crowd.
Come on, I'm taking on the world
private.
You rest. Yes. I was just coming to that.
Yes.
Do you have time to rest, chill, like in your private moments? You do. Yes, what do you do for fun?
I do a lot for fun. If you want to see me, well, I don't. Now that I'm leaving, I'll disclose to you my hideout places.
It's a safe place to disclose.
Yes, I would go to Aussie's.
Oh.
I would sit at Aussie's.
That's your hideout.
That's my hideout. Where there are no cameras and no Harriet and no diplomatic cameras, no one sees me. And I just sit and have my drink on the beach there with my friend Aussie. And if I go out, it's Bojo Beach, then I go to Tills Beach, and then Lamoon in the Western region. I love the ocean. And the ocean is 20 minutes from me. When I go back to Pretoria now, for me to get to the closest ocean, it's a 6-hour drive to Durban, or a 6-hour drive to Maputo in Mozambique if I want to go to the beach.
Wow. Yeah. Enjoy it. Please.
And just enjoy
You can take the ocean with you if you want.
Yeah, I'll take that.
All right, we are wrapping up. We just elected our president. We have a president-elect. We have NPP exiting and NDC coming back. And democratically, I think we have demonstrated, how we believe in democracy as a people, how we have so much faith in the democratic process. And of course, that's the best way to run any country where we find ourselves. What do you have to say to that?
Thank you. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate the President-elect, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, for his win on the elections. But this is also, as you say, Ghana is a beacon of democracy on the continent. Thank you for peace, and thank you for ensuring that Ghana continues to be a beacon of democracy on the continent. Yes.
Well, thank you very much. We must lead by example, and of course we need stability on our continent so we can grow our continent. So that's very important. Excellency, final words.
When you come to South Africa, and if you ever want to host your diplomatic honors in South Africa, please do give me a call.
We are super
I'm going back to
protocol. I was just about to ask you, any idea where next? What's next? Where are you going? But you're going back to protocol.
Yes,
back to the Foreign Affairs Ministry, where it all began.
Where it all began.
Ooh. Yes. Are you looking forward to it?
Yes.
Great. All right. Thank you so much for your time. It is always a pleasure talking to you. And it's beautiful to see more women diplomats in Ghana's diplomatic community. We've seen a lot of you. What's changing?
And the relationship between and the friendship between the ladies ambassadors. We've got a ladies ambassadors group.
Oh,
so we have good relations
for all nationalities.
Yes, for all nationalities.
Beautiful.
And I also thank all of my colleagues and all my diplomats and all of my friends for making work so easy for me in Ghana, and the cooperation and the relations that exist between South Africa and all other nations. And for peace and prosperity, God bless Ghana, God bless our beautiful continent, and God bless the world and world peace.
God bless the world and world peace. Thank you so much, Excellency, for your time. And by the way, I'm also disclosing this on camera. On Sunday, the 15th of December, we will have the pleasure of hosting Her Excellency together with her other colleagues at the Airport View Hotel. It's going to be in the evening, and it's strictly by invitation. We are having a night with the diplomats. That would be the second edition. Just when Grace got into town in 2020, we had the first one. And that's when we officially, put her out there, and the community, the Ghanaian people loved her. It's been a beautiful love story, and we are happy to be doing this again. We took a break so we could grow other products under our mother company, Diplomatic Affairs, Media and Communications. So we are doing this again. We'll be expecting you, Excellency.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, see you on Sunday, and of course, we are not done with you. We are going to miss you. We don't want you to go, but we also don't want to be selfish. We understand, sharing, so we still want to share you with your people. We know where to find you whenever we are looking for you. And thank you for giving us that amazing experience in South Africa. We are coming again. And we're happy that you're going to protocol.
To come, and I'll give you the Kruger Park experience the next
time. Okay, people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Harriet.
Thank you.
And all the best.
Thank you.
Siyabonga kakhulu.
Siyabonga kakhulu. That's all the best. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Siyabonga kakhulu. All right, folks. So we are done today. I've been making the diplomatic space my business, as you always know. I just jumped from the Cuban ambassador's office, and now to the South African High Commissioner's office as well, here to discuss her exit as she prepares to leave our country. It's been a beautiful conversation, and so we are happy to be coming your way once again, and of course we'll see you on the other side. All too soon, this is where we draw the curtain on today's production. It's been great spending some time with you as always. We know that you are looking forward to all the gist, you are looking forward to the updates, you are looking forward to the news when it comes to events or happenings in the diplomatic community, Ghana, and of course the rest of the world. But today we decided to focus on Ghana to talk about Cuba and South Africa. We will miss all of them very much. I know you will miss them too. But we will be expecting, or we will be hoping, that whoever takes over from them will also give us the same vibe, the same energy, so we can work together as we always do. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Harriet Nartey. The show is Diplomatic Affairs, and I look forward to seeing you same time next week. Enjoy the rest of our programs. Bye-bye.
truly African.
Hata odiasa miluko paso.